Leadership, we know, isn't a title, it's a decision. As we look to the summer season, things are starting to warm up on this end and this front. I'm excited. We're excited as the weather starts to turn. And I am challenging every leader to stop waiting and start activating their power, clarity, and influence that's already within them. Today, we are kicking off our MPACT Leaders Summer Series with one big question. Are you ready to activate the leader within you? That question again, are you ready to activate the leader within you? Let's get to it. This is the 30. Hi there, folks. Welcome to the 30. I am your host. Thank you for joining us on this day. The question is, are you ready to activate the leader within you? That is my challenge to you. That's my question, my challenge to every leader. And here it is. Stop waiting and start activating the power within you. This is the episode where we talk about activating the power within and kicking off our MPACT Leaders Summer Series. Thank you for joining me on this day. The 30 is a production of the Jackman Group LLC.com, and we are a training and development firm focused on specifically leadership development, training and coaching, team enhancement, and organizational strategic planning. Do me a huge favor. Go ahead and like this episode. If you're watching us from YouTube, certainly subscribe to our channel. And wherever you're watching us from, like the episode. You can comment. You can drop your comments in the chat. Would love to hear from you so that we can continue moving forward. We're at episode 249. Next week is going to be our big episode 250. We are going strong, 5 years and going strong. And I couldn't be here without you. So thank you so much for your continuous support. Thank you for keeping us going, right? Keeping us going. So big thanks to you. So here's the thing. We know that the most effective leaders don't wait for permission. What they do, they make the decision to lead. So in this season, as I said, with the weather changing, we are not just talking about growth, enough of talking, and now we're going to move into activating. Enough of the talk, we're going to move into action by activating. So We're starting to kick off. This is the first of our kickoff series, our summer MPACT Leaders Training Series. This is it. This is the big one. And as I said, I'm throwing out a call to all leaders near and far. It is time to activate the leader within. So whether you are stepping into a new leadership role, you are a more tenured leader, whether you are resetting or your pace, you're making a pivot, or you are just looking to lead with more clarity and confidence, wherever you are, folks, this is the time. The moment is now to activate. Enough of the talk. Let's move to action, right? So when we talk about activate simply is defined as an awakening of something that already exists. So you have something within you. You have the leadership traits within you. Sometimes it is deep within us that we need to draw it out. Sometimes there are some things that we forgot, right? There's some things that needs to be drawn out. I always ask in our classes, in our leadership development classes, whether you think leaders are born or leaders are developed. And that's always, I throw that out, and I have individuals on both sides of the fence. But wherever you are, wherever you come down on, whether development, leaders are born or developed, or if leaders are born or if they are developed, we need to move and activate, right? So that's what we are going to be talking about, is how do we activate the leader within you? And when we talk about that, when we talk about activation, I'm going to start off. So I just give you the definition of what activation is. And next, I'm going to talk about what do we mean by activate? How do we activate? What are some of the practical steps or practical ways that we can activate the leader within us? And we're going to be taking a look at that. Then I'm going to be talking about, give you an overview of our leadership series coming up, and that will kick off on June 3rd with our MPACT Leaders Leadership Training. If you are in the Rochester community, Monroe County, if you're close by, this one is going to be the first one. Our kickoff training is going to be an in-person training, but we're also going to talk about where we are going for June, July, and August. Right? Those 3 specific months, June, July, and August. So to activate the leader within you, the first thing that we need to do is really look and see, what do we need to focus on? We have to move from the point of procrastination and put aside any excuses and basically make a decision to say to ourselves, self, I'm showing up. I'm putting away any excuse that I used in the past. I'm not going to let fear, I'm not going to let what I think is finances, I'm not going to let my worst enemy or my best friend keep me from activating the leader within me. So it's about moving from idea to action. It's about turning potential into presence. It's about deciding that now is the time to lead with intention. You heard me on a previous episode talk about intent versus impact. Intention from intent moving to impact. So we talked about that in a previous episode. So what does that mean? We know that intention is the fuel behind our leadership impact. We established that on a previous episode. I'll say that again. Our intention is the fuel behind our leadership impact. Well, the opposite of intention is what? Being unintentional, right? And the unintentional leader, that leads to inconsistency, or should I say unintentional leadership, not leader, but leadership, leads to inconsistency, potential burnout, and a reactive culture. So our goal should be greater consistency, greater clarity, and a proactive culture. That's what we want to focus on. So what does intentional leadership looks like? What does that look like? Let's take our time and unpack this. Intentional leadership is knowing why. We may not know everything as leaders, but it's understanding why, knowing the why. Why are you doing the things that you do? How are you showing up the way that you do? So knowing the why and being able to explain to your teams or to our teams the why. What is the reason behind our actions? The second the way intentional leadership looks like, the second way is when we make decisions, making sure that what we do is aligned. Our actions is aligned with our decisions. Making sure that our intention is aligned with our decisions. The third way intentional leadership, and how does it look like, or what does it look like? The third way is making sure that we are showing up on purpose. Showing up on purpose and not by default. Some of us as leaders, we've been leaders for so long that we are just in cruise control. We're just there. What I call default. You know, on a computer, sometimes we set up our settings. We set up the way that we want things to run. Right? The computer comes with a default, but we are responsible to set things up the way that we think that we need it to function, to accomplish our goals. We're being purposeful. And then sometimes there's the option, but not sometimes, all the times there is the option to reset the default. Go back to the way that the computer came. Sometimes as leaders, we show up on default. Not anymore. Not anymore. Our goal here is to show up on purpose. So when we lead with intention, what happens is that your influence without forcing. You don't have to force anything. You know that it's impactful because that's your intent. You guide without micromanaging. We hear that all the time, right? Some of our team members saying, one of the things that I don't like about my leader or my manager or my supervisor is that they micromanage. There's always a root cause to that. Maybe they don't know how to lead. But as a leader, when we lead with intention, we're guiding without micromanaging. When we're leading with intention, we create movement by creating meaning. I'll say that again. When we lead with intention, we create movement by creating meaning. Understanding the why. Why are we doing something? So we're talking about activating the leader within. That's my challenge. So how do we activate the leader within? How do we do that? I am going to step through and give you 4 simple and practical actions for you to do. And I want you to take these actions in the coming week. Start tomorrow. Right? You can start tomorrow and end next week, next Friday. So 4 simple, practical actions for you to do so that you can activate the leader within. Here's number 1. Define your leadership commitment for your season, for this season. We're talking about the summer season, right? Because we're kicking off our MPACT Leaders Summer Series. So we're focusing on going in from May, but we're specifically talking about June, July, and August. So define your leadership commitment for the season. And how do we do that? We do that by, I'm going to ask you to do this one thing. Ask yourself, what is one leadership trait or value you would like to demonstrate or show this summer? What is one leadership trait or value you'd like to demonstrate or show this summer? It could be that you want to listen more. It could be that you want to exhibit greater emotional intelligence. It could be that you want to make more, be more defining in your decision making. It could be that as a leader, as a leadership trait, you want to be responsive. So you want to respond versus react. It could be as a leadership trait, you like to enhance your leadership skills. It could be that you want to demonstrate greater self-awareness. So whatever it is, I want you to take one leadership trait or value that you would like to demonstrate this summer. We're looking at June, July, August timeframe. And define that. Write it down. Make a commitment to yourself and to someone else that you are going to demonstrate and work on this one trait, one leadership trait or value for the next 3 months, starting in June. You can start earlier. You can start next week. Actually, start it next week. Write it down within the next couple of days and start next week. But I want you to go all the way through the end of August. Number two actions that I want you to look at. 4 simple, practical actions to activate the leader within. Number 2, audit your calendar and energy. So what does that mean? Here's the question. Does your schedule reflect your priorities? Does your schedule reflect your priorities? What are your priorities? See, because sometimes we get so busy. We focus on the nice things to do because they feel so good. But we forget about the need to do. So if your schedule does not reflect your priorities, you need to look at it and ask yourself, how can I realign my schedule to reflect my priorities? What's important? And that could be on a daily basis. And so focus on that. Number 3, start small, but be consistent. Earlier on, I think it was this year or last year, I did an episode on leadership success, or those that are successful. What are some of the traits that truly successful people have? And in my study, what I found is that one of the key traits of success is consistency. Being consistent in everything that we do. We fail primarily because we're inconsistent. That's one of the reasons we fail. But we want to start small in terms of our actions to activate this coming week and continue it throughout the summer. Start small, be consistent. Take one intentional leadership action. I just want you to take one and work with that. But in addition to that, here are some things that I want you to focus on in the coming weeks and months. Encourage someone else. Encourage someone else. You can do this daily. Ask for feedback. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback. And the feedback could be from your team members, from colleagues. And here's one thing that you can ask for feedback for. How am I showing up? Give me feedback on how I am showing up. The other one is clarify expectations. And then lastly, respond before reacting. There's a difference. There's a difference. So we talked about in the three. Here's the last one. Here's the very last action that you can activate this week. If you are local, and we are in the Rochester area, if you're in the Rochester area, Monroe County area, or close by Buffalo or Syracuse, I want you to sign up for our first series of our summer leadership series, the very first training. And this is our MPACT Leaders 5-day leadership training, 5-week leadership training. I want you to really activate the leader within you by taking this action. I am so excited about this. We are building the content out, and I am excited because this is taking it to the next level. And in the description of this episode, you will find where you can register and sign up. Don't delay. Don't procrastinate. It's about activating the leader within you. It's about going to the next level. Don't waste time. Don't procrastinate. Don't use any excuses, right? Get it done. And this is the first of our leadership training summer series, our MPACT Leaders 5-week leadership training. And that will start on June 3rd and goes through July 1st. That's every Tuesday. And it's an in-person training. So don't procrastinate. Let's do this thing now. To help you, here's what I'm going to do. We normally don't do this, but here's what I'm going to do for you. Let me see if I can find a link first. The link is in a description of this episode. And I'll also put it in the chat at the end of the show. Here's the link. But you can also check it out on this episode. But what I want to do, I'm going to give you, starting today and ending on the 15th, if you register, I'm going to give you a 20% discount because you are a friend of the 30. This is part of our 250th episode. So I'm going to give you 20% off, a 20% discount off of the investment of the program. And here's the code. Simply, as you go through, enter the code. As you check out or you enroll, enter 20 off. That's 20 off. And that will get you the 20% discount because you are a friend of the 30 and you're also part of the Jackman Group community. So that is your last action to activate the leader within. I'm so excited about this last one. I am excited about the training program. I'm excited about our entire summer series because it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait for it. So the summer series preview, what are we going to be working on? Number one, I just talked about that. Our first program is the MPACT Leaders Leadership Training. That's happening in June 3rd to July 1st. The second one over the next couple of months. So we go June, July, and August. In July, we're going to be talking about, and this is for everyone. This is for virtual, everyone across the world. And every Wednesday in July, we're going to do a 60 to 90 minute, what we call on Wednesdays, a Wednesday masterclass. So I'm going to invite some of my colleagues, some of my partners, and every Wednesday in July, we are going to be going through 60 to 90 minutes of what we call MPACT Leaders Leadership Masterclass. So stay tuned with that. And then in August, we have something else coming. In August, we will do our link up, right? We're going to do our get together for both in person and virtual. So we have a lot coming in the summer, starting with June, July, and August. So again, activate the leader within you. So my challenge again, don't let this be another opportunity for you to miss. Get on with it. Let this be a moment to move. Let this be a moment for you to activate. Let this be a moment. The time is now, folks. Enough of these excuses. I can't. I shouldn't. I'm thinking about it. Do it. Activate, right? So don't let this be just another episode of the 30. I want you to move from intent to action. I want you to move from where you are to where you desire to be. So those are the things that we want to focus on kicking off our MPACT Leaders Summer Series. So as you activate the leader within, show up like if you're the person that's becoming. Not the person that you used to be, not the person that you are now, but show up like the person you're becoming. Recreate the past. Stay in the present, but have expectations for the future. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I am going to put the link up for our 5-week training. It's also in the show's description, and take advantage of the 20% discount. The code is 20 off, OF off. Go to our enrollment page, enroll, and if you have any questions whatsoever, you can certainly contact us at info@jackmangroup.llc.com. That's info@jackmangroup.llc.com. Well, friends, that's about it. Thank you for watching so very much. Thank you for being a supporter of the 30. We will look to you next week as we bring our 250th episode to you. And we will have some giveaways. We'll have some fun. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you as we have a true celebration of 250 episode. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay focused, stay faithful, and lead well. May God bless you and your family, and we will see you on another episode of The 30. See you then.